So you have to lead, you have to develop, and you have to inspire.
Sankalp, thank you very much for being here. We're going to talk about succession planning.
Yeah.
And that's a project that you've been working on for the past 3 or 4 years, I think. Can you elaborate? Can you tell us a bit more about that project?
Sure, Eric. So succession planning is one of the key areas that me and my team focus on, and I think you can have different approaches on how companies look at succession. For our organization, it was very, very important to make sure we have the right leadership bench when we talk about succession planning, because there were 2 reasons. One, we split from Royal Philips and became a standalone organization, Signify. So making sure we have the right leaders with the right capabilities, driving our business agenda was important. And second, the industry was transforming and is still transforming in a fast way. So we are moving from, hardware, from products to solutions, systems, connected lighting, and that requires a very different kind of leadership capability as well. So when we talk about succession planning, we have to look at some of those things in mind. And we started this journey in 2015 after Philips announced its intention to divest the lighting business. And in 2015, it was all about making sure we have the right leadership in place. And then over the years, we looked at our journey. So 2016, you start going deeper into succession and you start saying, okay, you look at the top 500 positions in the organization, and in those top 500 positions, do we have the right leaders? And then go a level below and say, do we have the right successors? Do we have a ready now successor? Over the year, then you evolve it and you say, ready now is good, but then do you have someone who's ready after current role, someone who's ready after 1 or 2 steps? So they are still having the potential, but then can you bring them up in the next 7 to 8 years, 10 years for leadership roles, right? So there are those early talents. And after that, you start looking at going deeper into diversity of succession, right? Is it the same kind of pool that you have, or or as an organization, because we have, more than 25,000 people with us, can we leverage the diversity of our workforce to talk succession? Different nationality, ethnicity, age, gender, so a diversity of thought, experiences. So how are we leveraging the full workforce to talk about succession planning? And succession planning not just limited to only the top, but we focus on the top 3 layers in the organization. So all the way from CEO to the top 3 layers, which are, let's say, close to around 500-600 positions in the organization where we actively manage succession. At levels below, it happens in bits and pieces where we are going and looking at people management roles or other roles, but those top 3 layers is where the team, the leadership has a lot of focus. And we do it like it's not a one-off process in the year, but it's like a continuous process where we look at having our succession discussion with the CEO twice a year to really look at, are we making an improvement year on year, what we committed the year before or 6 months before, what are the actions that we've done to close the gaps on our leadership pipeline. There's a lot of work that happens.
Yeah.
And interesting is, with technology, you can basically automate a lot of it and get the data out of the system. So if all data is in the system, then a lot of analytics to say, where are we weak, where are the weak spots, where are improvements happening, where it's not happening, leveraging diversity of plans. A lot of those reports, analytics you can get from the system. So technology can play a big role also in how you look at making improvements year on year.
Yes, there's indeed 2 components, and I want to focus on digital or technology in a little bit, but first I want to ask a question about what does a leader look like? Because if you are formulating the pipeline, then you need to have a conceptualization of the competencies that those future leaders need to have.
Yeah.
How do you come to an understanding of that future leadership profile?
So a lot of it happens by talking to our business leaders, by talking to our CEO, to really understand what does it take to be a leader at Signify. Transformation is something which is here to stay. So, and I was here today, and we heard so many companies talking about their transformation journey. So one key component for leadership is about their ability to lead transformation. There's another one which is gaining a lot of attention is their ability to inspire teams, generate commitment from people below, their ability to build teams below, build high-performing teams. So there's a lot of focus around leadership. Recently, within Signify, we looked at, for example, what our people managers are supposed to do, and we came up with a framework which talks about they have to lead, they have to develop, and they have to inspire teams, right? So, and there's a lot of other components below it. But if you think about those three things, so you have to lead, you have to develop, and you have to inspire.
Yeah.
And then there are different things that go within it. But also from a leadership perspective, what it would mean is a leadership for a business versus a market versus a function will have something in common, but will also have their own nuances on what stage is the business in. For that one specific business area, is it a high growth business? There you need a very different kind of a leadership style. Is it a declining business? Is it a turnaround business, right? So then the leadership will also change, and the requirement of a leader would change in those in the business reality. So it always have to be in the context of the business of what you expect from leaders. So when we talk succession, we bring that into mind.
Yeah, fascinating. I think that's fascinating. I think the other element is the digital element, but we're out of time. I would love to discuss that another time.
Absolutely.
Thank you very, very, very much.